Hello, lovelies. Thank you to Llama. We were over there having a chat, and she goes, "Hey, girl, you got a show. You got to get going." We were just planning stuff for tonight. So happy Monday, guys. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I am Terry True Crime, and welcome to Midday Missing. This is the place where we highlight current missing person cases that need more attention. Now, I had somebody on one of my socials say, "You're covering a case from 10 years ago. How do you call these current?" So let me explain real quick. Current because they're still missing. They haven't been found. I don't care if they went missing 40 years ago. It is still current because they have not been found. Okay? Clearing that up for you. Now, we do live stream every Monday and Wednesday at noon Central Time, unless the beautiful and lovely Alama is streaming trial over on Couch Court. In that case, we stream during the court's lunch break. And if you watch Couch Court, she ports you over here. So all you have to do is hold on to your butt, tuck your arms in, and you're all good. Now, oh my goodness, it looks like we have a lot here. Hello, Angie. We got Lady in Gray. There's the beautiful Alama. Guys, my shirt's being wonky today. Hello, 80s Music Man. I feel honored and privileged that you dropped in on Midday Missing. So thank you. Hello, Michael. Hello, everybody. Now, guys, if you haven't, please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live on our channel or drop a new episode. But most importantly, so you don't miss these important stories that for some families, us getting the word out is the only coverage that they're getting because not everybody gets the national attention that they deserve when they go missing. Now, if you're listening to this on the podcast app, please download and most importantly, leave us a review. Give us a star rating, hopefully a 5-star. The reason why that helps some kind of algorithm math and helps others find our show, which means more people can hear about the missing person cases that we cover. And of course, guys, if you need more of me and Llama, because on every other channel but this one, there's sometimes shenanigans and there's a lot of side eyes, there's eye rolls, there's even some cuss words, okay? You can find us doing something on our True Crime and Wine Time YouTube channel. If you're watching this over on the book face, head on over to YouTube. Like it, we have a lot more going on there than you will ever see on the book face, okay? And guys, if you want to become a member, we have several levels, with the first starting at just 99 cents. And guys, as a channel member, you will get exclusive content, special emojis, happy hours in a Zoom room with me and Llama, where if you want to get on camera and chat with us, you can. Or if you just want to be there and hang out in the chat, you can. And we have monthly giveaways for our members. Okay. Now, I need to warn you, in case you weren't over on Couch Court and you didn't see this, I need to warn you that, guys, today, I really, really dislike two men in the stories I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you, I was going to say I can't promise I won't rage. Instead, I'm going to tell you I am going to rage. I can promise you I'm going to rage. Okay. And the reason I'm going to rage is because watching Dustin over on the trial with Couch Court, he got me fired up and he is a POS just like two guys that I'm going to cover today. So if you don't want to hear me rage, I don't know what to tell you to do. I don't know what to tell you to do. Let's get into it. Okay. Also, guys, please hold me accountable. I am going to, instead of drinking out of my cute little plastic wine glass, I am drinking out of this. I am behind. It's noon. I'm supposed to be right here. I'm supposed to drink 2 of these a day. I'm really behind. So help hold me accountable and make sure I'm drinking my water, okay? Now, born on March 15th, 1977, Rachanda Lea Pickle, lovingly called Chandy by her family, was a bright, kind 13-year-old girl from Oregon. She was the second child of Stephen and Linda Pickle, and she had one older brother named Byron. I love the name Byron. Now, after her parents' divorce, Chandy and Byron lived with their mother, but they remained close to their father, visiting him often. Now, I just realized I forgot to share the picture of her. There you go, guys. Oops, and I just shared the wrong one. Okay, guys. Ignore the fact. Okay, hold on. See, Llama, this is why I'm not so good at this. Let me find the right page to share with you guys. Sorry, Chandy. I will get right back to you. I think it's this one that I'm supposed to share. Guys, I am sorry. This is what I get for talking to Llama in the chat. Okay, guys, hold on. Technical errors. I'm going to start all over as far as pulling up that slideshow because I screwed up. It's Monday, guys. Please be kind. Give me a little bit of grace because I'm not always so good at this tech stuff. I'm going to try it again. Let's see if I did it right this time. If I didn't, I'm going to just say we're going to go with it. Okay. I think I did it right. Okay. I got it. Now, Chandy, I am so sorry that I did that. But guys, they both remained close with their father, visiting him often. Now, when her mother remarried, she remarried a man named John. The family moved to the Oregon Highway Division Maintenance Complex at Santiam Junction, which is a remote outpost surrounded by thick forest and steep mountain terrain. Sounds beautiful. They say it was isolated, but a very peaceful life. Now, Chandy was close to her mother and her brother, and she rarely wandered far into the woods without Byron by her side. You know, he was her little sidekick. Now, in July of 1990, Chandy had just returned home after visiting her dad for part of the summer. On the morning of July 10th, her mother woke her around 5 a.m. to help braid her hair before work. Now, Chandy kissed her mom goodbye and settled on the couch to watch TV. Sadly, guys, this is the last time her mother ever saw her. Now, her stepfather, John Aykroyd, later claimed he saw Chandy around 9:30 a.m., still in her pajamas, watching cartoons. He said he invited her to go for a drive to photograph deer, but she declined, saying she had chores to do. Guys, I'm thinking she didn't want to go take pictures of the deer. Now, when he returned home a few hours later, Chandy was gone. The front door was ajar. A pellet gun was leaning against the camper, and a box of pellets were on the ground. Now, John later told police what he found and said it was unusual, but not alarming. John, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. You come home and your stepdaughter, who you left on the couch watching TV, and you come home, she's not there. There's a pellet gun leaning against the camper. There's pellet bullets. I don't know what you call. I think they're just little pellets. And you're not concerned? You left? You weren't concerned? Excuse me, sir. You are part of the problem, okay? Because you should have. Okay. John went to pick Linda up from work. And when they returned home, they once again found the house empty. Now, none of Chandy's chores had been done. Her clothes, makeup, and personal items were untouched. Only a pair of black sweatpants and a New Kids on the Block t-shirt were missing. And that's what they're assuming she was wearing, okay? John and Linda checked around the complex, but they found no sign of Chandy. Now, guys, Linda wanted to call the police right away. John insisted Oh, no, we have to wait 24 hours. You can't report a child missing. The police won't even take the call. He convinced her this, okay? Chandy wound up not being reported missing until July 11th, and the police did not start the search till the next day, July 12th. Yes, guys, you heard me. July 12th. Okay. She is 13 years old and she lives in a terrain of mountains and hills and bears and coyotes and foxes. And guys, she had already been missing. So let me help clear up the timeline. He left, went to go do things. He came back around lunchtime. She wasn't there. He saw the gun. He was like, yeah, no big deal. He left. It was in the evening when he picks Linda up from work and then convinced her to wait 24 hours. 24 hours from that time. Okay, guys, that is even more because she hadn't been seen since 9:30 in the morning. She's 13 years old. Tell me why? Why? Because he's a POS. Now, police reached out to Chandy's father to see if he had heard from her. He was like, "No, I haven't." And the police ruled out pretty quick that she was a runaway. They're like, "She's not a runaway. All of her belongings are left at home." And no indication she was unhappy. She had just come back from visiting her dad, and her brother, I believe, stayed there. She was happy. Okay. Now, for several weeks, helicopters, deputies, mounted search teams, they scoured the dense wilderness near Santiam Junction. They found no signs of Chandy, no footprints, no torn clothing, no blood drops, no scent. Like I said, officers had quickly ruled out that she wasn't a runaway. Now, her family and law enforcement feared she had been taken against her will or something happened to her. Now, suspicion soon turned to her stepfather. Yep. Yes, guys. Red flags all over John Arthur Ackroyd because he was the last person to see her alive, which is pretty standard. Okay. But guys, he also told police, yeah, she wasn't here when I came home at lunch and there was this gun prop there, but I wasn't worried. Really, sir? You weren't worried that your 13-year-old stepdaughter wasn't at home? Really? Okay. But guys, it gets worse. John Ackroyd was already known to police for his connection to the unsolved 1978 disappearance and murder of a jogger named Kay Turner, a case in which he also had been the last to see the victim alive. Anyone else connecting dots here? Now, investigators found Ackroyd's statements inconsistent and deeply unsettling. He knew few personal details about Chandy, but volunteered inappropriate information about her body. Guys, I didn't include it in my script, but let me tell you, some of the comments he made about her 13-year-old body developing is horrific, predatory to me. Michael, I am so sorry. I mean, I get it. I get it. Now, friends and relatives said he had been abusive and that Chandy had made comments that she was afraid to go home and be alone with him. Despite the mounting suspicion, no evidence tied him to her disappearance. Her case went cold. Now, 2 years later, in 1992, Ackroyd was arrested and finally convicted for the murder of Kay Turner in 1993. He was sentenced to 5 life terms without parole. Still too good for you. But unfortunately, Chandy's family had no answers. Her body has not been found. Now, in 2013, more than 2 decades after Chandy vanished, Ackroyd was charged with her murder. But before the case could go to trial, he entered into a secret plea deal, agreeing not to contest the charges and to never try to seek parole. No new evidence was revealed, and Aykroyd never confessed or disclosed what he did with Chanda or her body. Sadly, guys, he died in prison in 2016. Okay, law enforcement, please tell me why you agreed to a plea deal without him telling what he did to her and where her body is. He's already in prison, 5 life sentences. He wasn't going anywhere. You had time. Why would you make that plea deal? Where is justice in that? If somebody knows, please, you can email me, terry@tcwtmedia.com. I want to hear how you think that's justice, because to me, that's not justice. Okay. The sheriff's office later confirmed that the case is now considered solved under that plea agreement. But like I said, Chandy's loved ones never got answers. Her remains have never been recovered. And the truth of what happened to her in that peaceful, beautiful, isolated mountain pass remains buried with the man who took her life. And we can say he took her life because he pled to it. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't like John Aykroyd. I am glad he is dead, but I want to know why prosecutors did a plea deal with him. Why? Why? What good did that do? So you could have something on your books? Oh, there's a win. This case is now closed. This case isn't closed. Chandy is still missing. Her loved ones do not know where she is. Okay. And that means to me that plea deal was wrong, in my opinion. Okay. So I'm asking if you have any information about the disappearance or death of Rachanda Chandy Pickle, contact the Linn County Sheriff's Office at 541-967-3950. Her family hopes and wants to find her remains so that they can give her a proper burial and say goodbye. Most likely, they're never going to find out what exactly happened to her. But if we can help bring her remains home, maybe John opened his mouth in prison and told someone. So if you have a family member or loved one or an acquaintance that maybe was in the same prison as him, ask, find out. Okay. Let's try to get this family some answers. Okay. Now, if you know of or you have a loved one missing and are interested in having their story featured on an upcoming episode of Midday Missing, or if you want to join us for either a live interview on camera or we can do an off camera interview, please contact Amy, our producer, by emailing her at amy@tcwtmedia.com, or you can contact us through any of our social media accounts. DM me on any of them at Terry True Crime. You can do Midday Missing, True Crime and Wine Time, any of them. Okay. Also, thank you for putting that in there, Nightbot. You can also, if you have an anonymous tip, you can go to tips.fbi.gov/home. Okay. Now, this next case, there's another man that I don't like much. Okay. Now, Theresa Davidson Murphy was born on May 15th, 1965. Look at her. She reminds me of Bridget Monahan in a couple of her pictures. Sorry, I keep hitting my mic. She had brown hair, bluish hazel eyes, and a tattoo of a green rose on her right ankle. She was 5'10" and weighed about 140 pounds. Now, Theresa was known for her humor, her kindness, and for being a fiercely loving, and protective mom. Teresa and her two children had lived in Florida and Northern California before finally settling in Covington, Washington. Now, while working at the Boeing aircraft plant, Teresa met Richard Murphy. The two married on July 3rd, 1998. Now, after the wedding, Teresa moved with Richard to Rainier, Oregon. The move was hard for her. She didn't know anyone there, and guys, it said she quickly began to regret leaving Washington. Now, her son Justin decided to stay behind with his father in Klamath Falls, Oregon, which was about 6 hours away, while Teresa and her 13-year-old daughter Jessica tried to adjust to life in their new town. Now, Teresa did her best to stay in touch with family. She called her mother often, and friends and family said those phone calls helped ease the loneliness. Guys, phone calls help. I mean, we are so blessed to now have FaceTime so you can even see the person. Now, on October 7th, 1999, Teresa dropped Jessica off for a long weekend sleepover at a friend's house, and Jessica was excited. It was just a week after her 13th birthday, and the girls had a volleyball game planned for that Friday. Now, that same day, Teresa's new husband, Richard, told her he was heading out for a camping trip in the Olympic National Forest. I mean, the timing lined up. Jessica could be gone for 3 days, and he'd be home by the time she returned, and Teresa could have a weekend to herself. I mean, moms, we all get it. Sometimes you need some mom time. Now, on October 9th, Jessica called home to check in with her mom, and Teresa answered. Jessica later said something sounded off, okay? She said her mom didn't sound like herself, and she said something felt wrong, but she couldn't quite explain it. Guys, that's called a gut feeling, intuition, okay? Even at the age of, 12, you can have it. Now, by Sunday, October 10th, Teresa was supposed to pick up Jessica from her friend's house. Guys, she never showed up, and everyone agreed that is not like her at all, okay? Days passed. Jessica tried calling both her mom and her stepdad. Neither were answering. She wound up staying at her friend's house for an entire week waiting. What the absolute fuckery? Where was the stepdad? Okay. Now, finally, on Friday, October 17th, 7 days passed, guys. Jessica reached her stepfather. Richard told her, "Your mother's been using drugs and that she wasn't coming back." Jessica said this story made no sense. Her mother was not that kind of person. "I don't like you, Richard. I think you are evil." Now, when Jessica returned home, she immediately noticed things that didn't add up. First, her mother's truck was still in the driveway with the keys in the ignition. All of her mother's belongings were in the house. But yet she was off doing drugs and not coming back. Really, Richard? How did she leave? Why is her truck outside? Why is the key in the ignition? I have a lot of questions. But Jessica said what really stood out, Richard's pest control van, which was usually filthy, was now spotless, inside and out. Inside, there was only a single green raincoat. And guess what else? All of his camping gear that he supposedly used during his trip was already packed neatly in the shed, which was not like him. Okay. Just a few days later, Jessica learned her stepfather had called her dad, Steve, arranging for her to move in with him and her brother. Her dad drove 6 hours to pick her up. Okay. Teresa's loved ones became worried and panicked. They at first assumed Richard had filed a missing person report. Guess what, guys? He hadn't. He didn't tell anybody anything, okay? He hadn't called the police at all. Tell me, what man's wife, if you go on a camping trip and you come home and your wife's car's in the driveway with the key in the ignition and all of her stuff's inside, what husband doesn't start calling friends, family, and the police? Somebody tell me. Anybody in chat want to tell me? Would you do that? Because let me tell you, I would be blowing up everybody's phone and I'd be calling the police. Okay. It wasn't until October 23rd, nearly 2 weeks later, that her sister in law, Julie, contacted authorities and officially reported Theresa missing. Guys, there's more. Around the same time, Richard told police that his 45 caliber Colt 1911 handgun had gone missing, but he still didn't report his wife. He reported the gun missing, but not his wife. Really, Richard? You report your gun missing, but not your wife? As of today, the gun, like Theresa, has never been found. Okay, guys, I have so many red flags. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Richard, no. Now, I think we can say most husbands would be distraught, begging for answers. Richard was calm. And within a month, he had a new girlfriend and completely scrubbed Theresa from his life. He moved her belongings into a storage unit, but didn't make the payments. All of Theresa's belongings were auctioned off. Everything. If that isn't a red flag, I'm going to tell you that should be a definition of a red flag. Okay. Didn't call a family member and say, hey, put everything here. Y'all might want to pay. Or, hey, do you want these things? No. Moved them in, then didn't pay the bill, so that all got auctioned off or thrown away. Guys, this is pictures with her kids. These are items that Jessica and Byron, I'm sorry, Byron is not her brother. That's the other case. Yes. I'm sorry. I am so mad at Richard. Okay. I am somebody who, not the same situation, but the pictures that were in my mom's house, a lot of them were destroyed. My childhood was destroyed, and it's devastating. Okay. Jessica has said on record, it devastated her. Okay. In just a matter of weeks, she lost her mom, the home she had, and every item that reminded her of her mom. Okay. Now, police investigated other possibilities, including whether Theresa could have fallen victim to a serial offender known as Cowboy Mike Bray, but he was ultimately ruled out. The focus returned to Richard. Okay. Theresa's family believed he had grown controlling and possibly moved her to Rainier to isolate her. Standard motive for people, right? The timing was also suspicious. Theresa disappeared the same weekend Jessica was away, and Richard claimed to be on a solo camping trip. Guys, no one could confirm that, okay? So, did he really go camping? I am assuming back in 1999, it's like it is now when you check into a national park or a camping facility. You register the car, the license plate, they give you something to stick in the window. I know we went camping back in the 90s. You still checked in with somebody, okay? I mean, this is not an alibi to me, okay? And I have so many more questions. Like, I couldn't find anything. Did they search the house? Did they search the van? I mean, he had at least a week alone to clean, to cover his tracks, and to hide any evidence, okay? This is insane to me. Why wasn't the van taking into evidence? I couldn't find anything. So if anybody knows this family, I need to know, because it's insanity to me again, okay? I know a person has the right to not incriminate themselves, but why in the hell can't they question and pressure this man and take possession of that truck, that van, and search the house, okay? It's all way too coincidental in my opinion, and I don't believe in quinky dinks. Yes, that's my word. I do not believe in quinky dinks, okay? 2 years later, investigators officially announced what everyone feared, that they were assuming Theresa Murphy was deceased, okay? Jessica remembers her mom as her best friend, saying she was loving, she was hardworking, she was caring. She said, "My fondest memories are of us going to parks, and just talking for hours. I could go to her with anything." It's been over 2 decades, okay? And Theresa's case remains open. And Richard still remains free, okay? I'm going to ask you to go like and follow the Help Find Theresa Davidson Facebook page. Okay. Let's show Jessica and her brother love and support. Share the missing person flyers that we have posted on our Midday Missing Facebook page. And if you know of anything, and if you know Richard, I'd love to have a talk with him. I would love for him to explain to me why he's a piece of shit. Even if your marriage wasn't going great and you were thinking you wanted to leave her, why did you get with another woman in a month? Why did you not give her children her belongings or her loved ones? Why? I need to know, Richard, because in my mind, that makes you primary person of interest number one. I'm not law enforcement, but I don't like you. Okay. So if you know anything, please call the Oregon State Police at 800-442-0776, because her family deserves to know what happened to Theresa. Okay. Let's share this video. Let's share Theresa and Chandy's story, because these two men, John and Richard, I don't like y'all. John, I know you're deceased now, but still, I hope you're burning in hell. Richard, I hope karma gets you. Okay? I hope karma gets you. Sorry, guys. These two men and Dustin on court with Llama, I don't like them. Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath. Okay. So I am going to give you guys some tips. Okay. It says after dark safety tips. I don't know why it says that. It should just be Terry's tips. So, guys, Halloween should be fun and not frightening. Okay. At least not in real life. Halloween is this weekend. Okay. Whether you're trick or treating with the kids, heading to a costume party, or hosting your own spooky celebration like me, I wanted to give a few Terry approved safety trips to help keep the night safe and memorable. Guys, Halloween is supposed to be a fun time. Unfortunately, there's evil people in this world, like Richard, like John, like Dustin. Okay. I want you to make sure costumes are visible in the dark. Okay. Add reflective tape. Give them glow sticks. You can get both of those things at the dollar store. And carry a flashlight. Drivers can't avoid what they can't see. A lot of neighborhoods like mine, some of the houses have lighting. Street lights are very few and far between. We do not have sidewalks. It's rough, okay? You can't see the little ones. Also, stick together. No one should be out trick-or-treating alone, okay? Even a short distance. For example, when my littles were here for Halloween one year and little guy AJ wanted to run across the street over to Jin Jin's, I stood outside and watched him, okay? Go in groups when you can. Keep a trusted adult or friend within sights at all times. Guys, unfortunately, it doesn't happen often, but back in the 2000s, I remember there was a report of 2 kids out trick-or-treating by themselves. They were like 10 or 11, and they knocked on the door, and the guy tried to grab them, okay? Please, okay, adults, go with them, even if they're 12 or 13, okay? Use sidewalks when you have them, crosswalks, walk on the grass, try not to walk in the street, okay? Avoid cutting through alleys or dark yards, okay? You never know what's lurking. Avoid masks or props that block your vision or make it hard to move, okay? If a costume includes fake weapons, make sure they're obviously props, not realistic replicas. You can put the glow tape on them so that you can tell it's a toy. Tie a ribbon to it, do something. Now, we haven't had it happen in a long time that I've heard of. Don't eat anything that's unwrapped, okay? Homemade by a stranger or looks tampered with. And guys, when in doubt, throw it out, okay? Now, if you're coming to my house and you're my neighbor's grandkids, they know me, we know them, we're in each other's house, that's different. But if you're just going to random trick or treating, please, okay? Also, make sure everyone who's with the group, their phone is charged and location sharing is turned on, okay? If you are sending your kids to trick or treat with some friends and another adult, pop one of those air tags in their costume, in their shoe, so that you can track them at all times. Guys, I know it sounds crazy, but I would rather be safe than sorry. Okay. Now, if you're an adult and you're going out to a costume party or you're doing a Halloween pub crawl, plan a safe ride home before you go. Okay. Never get in a car with someone who's been drinking. Do not do it. Not only would you be putting yourself in danger, you're also putting the littles in danger by driving intoxicated. Okay. This makes me sad to say this. Please keep your pets indoors, especially black cats and black dogs. Okay. People are cruel. Keep them inside. Okay. Also, it helps keep them calm because the costumes, the decorations, things like that can stress them. Okay. I say this every time I give tips. If something feels off, trust your gut. Trust your gut. Okay. Now, I want you to remember this. Real monsters don't wear masks. So stay alert, stay aware, look out for one another. Like I said, Halloween is meant for scares, not tragedies. And I'm not trying to scare you guys. I just want everyone to have a wonderful and safe Halloween. I mean, if we ever make Halloween for adults where I can go trick or treating and get wine, I would go trick or treating. Okay. And another thing, if you're handing out candy, still give candy to the teenagers. If they knock on your door and they're not in costume, go ahead and give them some candy. I would rather them be out trick or treating than out potentially causing mischief, egging houses, or doing other things. Don't shame them for not having costumes. Same thing with little kids. If they don't show up in a costume, it's okay. Economy's tight. Not everybody has money to make a costume. Just give the kids some candy. Okay? I appreciate it. Also, some kids are allergic to nuts and candy. Try to have something, if you can, that you can give to those kids. We hand out little gummy fruit gummy snacks. We have those. And this year, I even found little individual bags of gummy bears to give out in case they have a nut allergy, chocolate allergy, or something like that. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday for our next episode of Midday Missing. Lady in Gray says, boo on mask. Guys, masks are fun. Hi, Lainey. Masks are fun. Okay. I think last year I even dressed up for the podcast as Big Bird. So it's okay for adults to get in and have fun too, okay? My tips are not meant to scare you. They are meant to maybe make you think of something that you didn't think of, okay? We're all supposed to have each other's back. And if you have any tips that you think I should share, you can email me, Terry at tcwtmedia.com. I try to share things about weather related, house related, safety tips. Okay. So please share them. Now, I am going to remind you guys that you can follow our Facebook group, Midday Missing. That is where we will post all of our missing person posters as we share other posters. Guys, let me tell you, we have family members who say thank you for sharing these posters, for covering these cases. So sharing them means a lot to the families. Okay. I don't think we share them on our other social platforms, but we are going to start because not everybody gets on the book face. Okay. But you can follow us on all of our social media channels. Okay. On Facebook, we have Midday Missing. We have True Crime and Wine Time, which is our main page where we do a lot of fun stuff. Then I have Terry True Crime. We're also on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. We've got YouTube Shorts. We got it all. So you want to follow all of it because, guys, we release stuff there that we don't release anywhere else. Okay. I've even released a couple of videos over on TikTok. You can see me in my robe in the morning, having coffee, no makeup, unless I went to bed in makeup the night before. So, you can see some other stuff. Now, please remember you can catch all of our shows on our YouTube channel, and you can listen to our podcast, True Crime and Wine Time, and Midday Missing on all of the podcast platforms. Now, guys, this Thursday on True Crime and Wine Time, Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, we offer a deep dive into shocking true crime cases paired with wine. But this week, we will cover the cases, okay? Halloween horror, stories of real murders inspired by movies. Guys, if you like spooky stuff, yeah, you need to go and check us out on Thursday. Um, it will not be a sober True Crime and Wine Time this Thursday. I tried that last Thursday. It did not work out well for me. Okay. And don't forget, if you are a channel member, we have our weekly TMI that streams every Friday night. And guys, trust me, you don't want to miss this show. It is unhinged and you will be laughing the whole time and you will be rolling your eyes at us. Okay. It's not us rolling our eyes, it's everybody going, oh my God, Llama. Oh my God, Terry. Annie, really? Did you just say that? I mean, it's great. Now, the first Friday of each month, TMI streams for the public, but the rest of the month is for channel members only. Okay. Now, if you are, I forget what level of membership, but we do have our monthly giveaway tonight. I believe is at 8 p.m. Lum is in the chat. Maybe she will confirm. I think it's at 8 p.m. Eastern. And guys, you want to come there? We're even going to be announcing some new shows. Okay. If you're not yet a channel member, I would say go check it out. Starts at 99 cents. We have a lot of things, like I said at the beginning, that we do in there. It's fun. And the new shows we're going to announce tonight. And we are going to get to see a sneak peek of Llama's new show, Devil in the Bay. Okay. I haven't seen it yet. And I am going to wait till tonight to see it so I can see it with all of you guys. Okay. I want to thank you again for being here. Missing persons cases are something very true to my heart, and just helping these families however much we can means a lot to me, but most importantly, them. So, guys, until next time, please stay safe, stay aware, Most importantly, if you see something or hear something, say something, and let's help these families bring their loved ones home because, guys, they do not need to continue going to bed every night wondering where, when, why. They shouldn't have to. So, bye, guys. Take care. See you soon.